Our first unit in geometry is the introduction. Our lesson is called Geometry and the World. Let's look at our goal for this lesson. Our goal for this lesson is to recognize and describe connections between geometry, the world, and God. Okay, so I want you to get your notebook. I want you to turn to the first page. I don't want you to write any pages out of your notebook. Write today's dates. Let's write Geometry and the World. Geometry and the World. Okay, geometry is a vine with many branches. Wherever you turn, you will encounter shapes and patterns. Techniques for graphing learned in algebra are part of this course. They connect algebra and geometry. The function is another concept used in algebra and geometry. Transformations are functions that permit all figures to be considered geometric. Thus, the use of transformations and coordinates is an important part of the contemporary study of geometry. Two ways to represent squareness. In algebra, we have x squared. In geometry, we have a picture of a square. Among the ancients, the regularity of planetary movement and other features in nature revealed God. In particular, geometry was used to measure and investigate the foundations of this world. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, once claimed the design in the universe was self-evident. Like the psalmist Kepler and Galileo, Doyle saw a rational order in the universe. Galileo claimed this order was evident from the language of mathematics. Okay, so Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. He said the design in the universe was self-evident. The design in the universe was self-evident. Galileo claimed this order was evident from the language of mathematics. Galileo he said the order was evident from the language of mathematics. Order was evident from the language of mathematics. From the language of mathematics. For this course, you will need paper, pencil, a notebook, a straight edge ruler, a compass, and a protractor. In addition to shapes and figures, the course will require you to use a formal, logical process of thinking for proofs. Rarely do students pick up these methods quickly. In fact, most students will require much think time to grasp these concepts well. This is natural and may be expected. Be diligent, be steady, and stay with it. You may struggle and feel frustrated. What you want to remember is that God has uniquely created you with the capacity to think and reason. You may be challenged, but take the time to understand the examples. Okay, God has created you. God created us with the capacity to think and reason. Fact: God made creation and it glorifies Him. In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:1. O Lord, Thou hast created all things, and for Thy pleasure they are and were created. Revelations 4:11. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament sheweth His handiwork. Psalms 19:1-4. Lost my place. Okay. God gave a directive to mankind. God intended man to be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it. We have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. Genesis 1:26 and 28. Thou hast crowned him with the crown of honor. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. Psalms 8:5-9. Okay, we said Sir Arthur Conan Doyle said the design in the universe was self-evident. Galileo said this order was evident from the language of mathematics. God created us with the capacity to think and reason. From the several verses above, we can make certain inferences. First, mankind, created in the image of God, has been endowed with the capacity to think and reason, making us different from the rest of creation. Along with the ability to reason, God has given mankind a twofold task. We are to glorify Him and to subdue and have dominion over His creation. Subduing is the action and activity of bringing something under control. Dominion is the power and right to control and govern. Mankind then is to be a steward, a manager of God's creation, and he has the duty and responsibility to care for and understand it. Okay, so we said that God has given us a twofold task. Okay. God gave us a twofold task. Glorify Him. Okay, glorify God. And subdue and have dominion over His creation. Subdue and have dominion over His creation. Right. We said subdue is to bring it under control. I'm just going to draw a line from subdue. Means to bring under control. That's what subdue is. Okay, and it says dominion is the power and right to control and govern. So dominion is the power to control. Alright. Mankind then is to be a steward, a manager of God's creation, and he has the duty and responsibility to care for and understand it. A tool, mathematics, a connection between man and creation. A capacity to think and reason has enabled men to invent and create abstractions and languages that can help us fulfill the duty of taking dominion or rule. We have been able to describe patterns involving magnitudes and relationships between figures and forms we see in creation. We have converted these patterns into a language that enables us to communicate with others about the ideas and abstractions that we are thinking. These musings, abstractions, and inventions have come to be known as mathematics. Mathematics has become a wonderful tool to help us understand creation. Okay, I want you to study your notes, review this lesson, and go ahead and finish the questions.